Okay, let's give this a try. Oh no, I didn't turn on my V2 bottle. Wait! Oh dear. Hold on. We're gonna go to the talk screen. Hold on. I lied. We're gonna go to the Be Right Back scene. Fuck. Professional streamer, guys. Professional. Let me get her booted up. So how's everybody's Monday? Oh my goodness. I'm tired. And I also have to go grab my iPad because it has some notes. That I took earlier. I'm sleepy. Okay, one second. Why isn't this working? It's because I'm not logged into Steam. Come on, VTube Studio. Otherwise, we're just gonna go without. I think we're just gonna go without. Fuck it. Alright. Hello. I'm gonna close and turn that off. Okay. So, I am streaming on a Monday, which I don't know if I've ever done. But I have a new passion for getting my shit together, because, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this. This is my second time dealing with something like this, where, I was, I got, an unsolicited job offer. I'll explain my first situation with this. It was right after I had graduated full sail with my bachelor's degree. So I was actively, searching for jobs, trying to find something in my industry, yada, yada, yada. Really struggling at the time. So out of nowhere, I get this, I think email or something. It had to have been an email, because, it was weird. Okay, because keep in mind, I'm a baby artist, baby animator, just dipping her toes in the industry for the first time, so I don't know what to expect from anything. All of a sudden I get this email, and they're offering me this better than too good to be true offer. So, it's so embarrassing to think about now, because, the more especially given, the second circumstance, it's I should have seen the flags. But again, I was a baby. I didn't know. I didn't have life experience yet. So, the whole gist of the original scam was they sent me a check that I was supposed to deposit into my account, and then I was supposed to use that money to buy equipment from them to start doing work, I guess remotely, because I was supposed to be buying a laptop and software and all this shit. So when I deposited the check, I'm very lucky to have a bank that has a super good fraud department. So immediately it was flagged. It was we can't deposit this. I don't remember if it gave me a reason why or not. But, if it did, it would have said it was because it was a fraudulent check. So, I email the person back. I'm like, hey, it's not working. Yada, yada, yada. You know what? I might have downloaded Telegram for this, originally, and I was communicating with them through that. I don't know. But yeah, so check didn't work. They sent me another one to deposit that also bounced. So I have to call my bank and ask them what's going on. They tell me it's fraudulent, explain the whole situation to me. For anyone that does not know, if a job is offering to send you equipment, but they are going to make you pay for it directly, it's probably a scam. Because the intention for the check wasn't ever to deposit money into my account. It was supposed to reverse the transaction, sort of. So it's like a check that you deposit, but it's actually withdrawing money from your account and sending it to wherever that check is from, or whatever, however it works. So yeah, that was embarrassing. That was very disheartening. made me question if I really wanted to be in this industry or if I was good enough for it. Because again, I'm still struggling to find a job that I actually went to school for. One, because I have a lack of confidence in my skills, given how long it's been since I was last in school. And then just generally, like, I didn't want to go to school for 3D stuff. I thought my program was going to be a mixture of 2D and 3D animation, but it was strictly 3D. Luckily, a lot of, like, the animation principles apply to both mediums. It's just, it wasn't, I didn't learn how to, like, hand draw anything, which is fine. I know I figured out how to do that on my own, kind of. So, yeah, there was that. And then my most recent encounter with this bullshit, again, an unsolicited email, but it seemed more legit this time. So I got an email from somebody claiming to be a woman named Natalie. The job offer was for, like, a 2D artist or something for a game studio. I won't name the studio because I don't think this person had any affiliation with them, and I don't want to, like, get any names dragged in the mud. But yeah, I want to say, okay, so at the end of the message, this should have been my first red flag, and it kind of was, but I'll explain in a second. So at the bottom of the message, they were like, reach out to me on Discord, here's my username, add me, whatever. So it should have been a red flag. It kind of was a red flag for me, but it's a game studio, and I know Discord is very popular in the gaming community. I know companies will even set up their own servers for employees to communicate and stuff. So, like, it wasn't out of the realm of possibility, but it should have been something where I was like, this doesn't seem legit. So I go through this whole, like, text-based interview process, and it's just, oh god, like, I'm cringing at myself. This literally happened, like, a day or two ago. And yeah, so we do the whole text-based interview. It's literally, like, 6 questions, I think, total. Like, it was 3 at first and then, like, another few questions after that. They made me fill out this form that was asking for my name and my address. It's still, again, should have been a red flag. Wasn't enough of one for me to not give them my fucking address. So that's cool. But then it got to a point where there was subsequent messages where they were describing all the equipment and software that I would get access to, that they would ship it for me, all this stuff. The next red flag that was actually a red flag to me, and actually had me start questioning everything, was, like, they had a line about sending me a check. So it didn't explicitly say that I needed to use this check to buy the equipment. It made it sound like they were just gonna ship me the equipment and all of my employee stuff, and, like, I guess, like, a check for my first pay stub or something. I don't know how that was supposed to work. So what ended up happening was I took a screenshot of the message about, like, all the equipment and stuff, and I sent it to my mom, my stepmom, and my boyfriend's brother, because he's kind of an established professional. So I was just like, hey, does this look legit? Does this sound right? Am I? Because, like, above this message, which I didn't include in the screenshot because I was a little embarrassed, but above that message was a document for direct deposit. And this was before I had received any kind of, like, employment documentation, like, anything that would actually signify that this is a real job. I literally just gave them my name and my address. So that was cool. But yeah, definitely the line about the check and the direct deposit form definitely had my alarm bells going off at that point. So come to find out, there's a feature on Discord where you can see when an account was created. So I checked that. Turns out the account that I was messaging was created this year at the end of January. That's another red flag. I also did my due diligence by I looked up the game company on LinkedIn, and I just found like 2 random employees to send a message to. Luckily, one of them was able to get back to me, who informed me that the studio that this scammer claimed to be part of had actually let go of a bunch of people back in April. So, wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, I guess, to be hiring back people so soon if you had to fire them for financial reasons or whatever the reasons were. Like it's been like 3-4 months. I'm not saying like studios can't turn it around in that kind of time frame, but like, I don't know, to be openly soliciting people for a job, it's not as common. So she said she would let the company know about it. I guess she doesn't work for them anymore, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I also went to their website in their contact section and also left a message there. Haven't heard back from them directly, but you know, hopefully they know of the situation if they're still in operation. But yeah, so that was fun. That was fun to deal with. That was, damn, bro. Like, it's so discouraging because I am actively looking for a better job right now. And I know the animation industry is not like the highest paying like job industry, but like it's what I'm passionate about. And I'm not trying to get rich. I'm just trying to like cover my bills and survive, you know? I want to be able to pay rent and buy groceries without using my credit card. But yeah, so the hunt continues, which brings me to my next point. I have, hold on one second. One moment, por favor. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. All right. I'm gonna go to my art station. So, my goal now, excuse me. My goal now is to really update my portfolio and get it to a level where I would be comfortable sharing it for job applications, as well as I don't know, just to look more professional, you know? So this is what I have right now, and it's very basic. It'll be easier to see now because I'm not on my uber saturated monitor. I don't know if it was that saturated on stream or if it was just on my end, but this should be more accurate colors this time. So we'll just do a quick little scroll through. You can see all the thumbnails for each piece. But ideally, I don't want to, because I already did like a purge of all of my old work a couple months ago. So everything in here should be from within the last 2 to 3 years, except for like a couple of my school projects, which are these 4 animations. I guess, yeah, this is my demo reel, which has these. And like these sculpts were also, these primitive sculpts. Primitive? Are they primitive? They're not primitive. These untextured sculpts were a class project. Different class projects, I think, but they were fun nonetheless. This one, I think, was just a random Blender tutorial because I no longer had access to Autodesk Maya, but I still wanted to keep my skills fresh, so this was a fun little project. Just made some Minecraft blocks and made them fall. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. This one was also out of school. I think I talked about it last time. This is my little donut. It's inspired by the Dunkin' Donuts Halloween donut, where they have like the little donut hole inside of the donut hole, made to look like a spider. I added the sprinkles because I just thought that would be a cool touch, and it was part of the tutorial that I was following. So I didn't want to just like sprinkle them all over the place. I wanted it to be kind of planned. So we've got the wire mesh, got the... I always forget what this version is called. I really do. I'm just gonna call it untextured because then we get into textured and then we get into the full render and animation, which I love. And like, just look at him slide in, all smooth like, oh, and this is my demo reel if we want to check this out real quick.
It together.
Don't contact that. But yeah. So that was the original demo reel. I would like to update it with some of my more recent projects. For example, and I'm gonna comment on these for later. Like, I want to pick apart my own work so that I know what things I need to work on. So, but this, I was literally just watching the making of this video. It's just a speed paint of like what I did for this animation. I won't play the whole thing because it is quite a few minutes long. But you can see the animation here. So this was a fun project because I really wanted to incorporate as many like of the 12 principles of animation as I could. You've got your squash and stretch. You've got your timing. God, hold on, let me look it up real quick. Just so I know. 12 principles of animation. Just so I know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to like make shit up. Okay. Squash and stretch. Timing and motion, anticipation, staging, follow through and overlapping, straight ahead and pose to pose action, slow in and out, arcs, exaggeration, secondary action, solid drawing, and appeal. So, lots of squash and stretch for sure, lots of motion for sure. I've even got my little motion lines, you can see them. A little bit of anticipation, especially with the star, with like the looking back and forth before running across. Staging. I wouldn't really say staging is a huge part of this animation because it is just a 2D scroller animation basically. Like, it's just going back and forth on a single plane. And I'm not using any like lighting effects or anything. Follow through and overlapping is also not really present unless you want to count like the little rainbow that comes out of the heart as it jumps in the air. I guess you could argue that. Straight ahead and pose to pose. I did incorporate that. I did. Like a lot of straight ahead with like the square sliding across, the heart jumping in the air, and the moon rolling back across. Pose to pose, I would say, was more so the cleanup of the star running animation, because initially I think that was also gonna like slide across and like just jump at the end. But I wanted to make it a little more visually interesting. Lots of arcs, lots of slow in and slow out, especially here with the heart. You see like it slows as it reaches the top, and then it like is fast, like going into the jump and like falling out of it. Lots of exaggeration, again with like the I feel like exaggeration and squash and stretch for the most part are the same. It's just like you have squash and stretch. It can be subtle, and then like you can exaggerate it for either comedic effect, visual appeal, or whatever. Like, you know, like it's more of a spice you add, so to speak. Sorry, give me a second. Okay. I had to check something. Solid drawing, yes, because it's solid shapes. I cleaned up the line work, all of that stuff, and appeal. I think it's appealing, you know? I've got my soft color palettes. I've got my cute little accent details. Yeah, so this is something that I could definitely, I think, add to a demo reel. And it's like, it's simple. It's not the most complex, but I'm displaying quite a few of the principles, and it was a fun project to work on. Another project that I think would be a really good idea to add to my demo reel is my Jello jump. Oh, well, okay, so this is the first part of it, is like doing these and like these shapes. And again, squash and stretch. It is timing and motion, anticipation, straight. I would say this is more straight ahead as opposed to like pose to pose, unless you want to count like from the ground to the midair, you could argue. Slow in, slow outs. There's not a whole lot of arcing because it's just a straight jump up and down. Definitely some exaggeration. Oh, I see what secondary action means. Okay, secondary action is where you have like multiple things happening at the same time. So, for example, in this picture that I'm looking at, somebody could be riding a skateboard while their hair is blowing in the wind. You know, like one is kind of tied to the other based off of like how fast the skateboard is going, how fast the person is moving to like push the skateboard, that kind of thing. So it's like when there is some kind of relation between actions that are happening at the same time on the screen. Again, solid drawing. I went really thick with my line art on this first one, and I don't remember if that was a stylistic choice or if this was just me learning Procreate at the time, because what it looks like to me, I have this brush called Syrup. I think it's a default brush in Procreate, and it has like this interesting sort of triangle shape. So when I'm trying to draw like a straight line with it, because it's pressure sensitive, when I start the line, it'll retain that pressure, but then like as I drag it across for a straight line or something, that's when it tends to like taper off. So I feel like if I had like drawn all 4 lines at the same time and just like held it so that Procreate does its little like automatic shape thing, it might look more consistent. But I also don't hate the tapered lines on the square. It doesn't bother me. Another thing that I did with this animation just for appeal is I kind of did this like rainbow gradient transition as it was like changing shapes. I don't think it quite lines up with the motion because I was just kind of in betweening it. I wasn't really like, oh, this is blue, this is pink, this is yellow, because there's only 4 shapes, but I'm going through the whole rainbow almost. But yeah. Next you see the whole shebang. Okay, so this is why I think I would include this animation over this animation, because this kind of encapsulates everything that this first one does with a little bit of extra stuff, you know, like the arcs, the overlapping, all that kind of stuff. Oh no, you know what follow through and overlapping action is? It's like when you're holding it's like when you're showing the difference in weight of things. So like if somebody's picking up a heavy box or dropping a bowling ball, or they're pulling on a rope and all of a sudden it gives slack and you just fall backwards. Like I think that's what that's the principle of. I could be wrong. This is another fun animation called the magic dots. You literally just like draw different paths for these dots to follow. And you can do it as many times as you want. I just did 4 just to keep it kind of simple. And then by the time you're done pathing all the dots out, then you start connecting them into different shapes. So I don't know if I planned for this shape to twist like that, but I did use the purple versus yellow to kind of show, like, this is the front, this is the back, this is it twisting, this is it unfolding, like that kind of thing. And then I believe at the bottom we have the Jello jump. Look at this. Can I zoom in? Look at my jumping Jello. This is another one where I think it would be an okay animation to include in my demo reel, because, like, it's pretty much a finished scene. You've got the Jello, you've got the plate that it's sitting on, you've got the table. I had this, like, really cute gradient background. And again, you got squash and stretch. You got timing and motion. You got anticipation, slow in and out. A lot of straight ahead. You could argue arcs because of, like, the way that the Jello stretches, but I wouldn't push it. Solid drawing, and I think it's appealing. You know, I think it's appealing to look at. Now, granted, not every animation has to have all 12 principles. Some animations just focus on on like a single principle. Like, if you're just focusing on squash and stretch, if you're just focusing on, well, okay, I take it back. Sometimes I feel like some principles are present in every animation, such as, like, timing and motion. Like, no matter what you're animating, you have to account for the timing of the motion that you are animating. You could argue staging is also a part of it. This one definitely has staging because I played a lot with, like, lighting and values. I probably should have just said lighting and shadows, values. There we go. But yeah, so something else that I need to incorporate into a demo reel is a dialogue scene. So if we go back to this one, this was before I added my card texture to the animation. This is, like, pre-demo reel version.
No, what? I'm sick of keeping it together.
Okay, yeah, so I haven't even, like, animated the face yet. This is just the staging, basically. So when you get to the character animation demo reel,
No, what? I'm sick of keeping it together.
so I have an idea for my new demo reel where I'm gonna use my character Queenie and her human persona or whatever. Like I still haven't quite decided if, like, Queenie is the transformation of my main character, or if she's just, like, a separate character but kind of trapped in the main character's mind or something. I haven't quite nailed that detail down yet. But my idea for, like, a dialogue scene is just, like, this, like, like an interrogation room in a movie like Batman or something, where it's like the person being questioned is on a chair, and they're sitting under a single light, so the rest of the room is, like, dark around them. It's basically a spotlight. Excuse me. And I want Queenie to kind of, like, appear out of nowhere from behind the chair that she's sitting in, and I want them to have, like, a dialogue exchange. I don't know if I'm gonna, like, record it myself, if I'll get my friends to help me record it, or if I'll just find some audio online. But yeah, that's another important clip that I would like to include in my demo reel. Another animation that I'm, like, kind of iffy on if I should include is my most recent one. This nice little, oh, that's not even, I need to update that. Did I update that? I don't think I did. Okay, well, anyway, I'll play it in the background regardless. I have cleaned this up since, so the sketchy lines are no longer there. What was I gonna say? I like this animation just because, like, it was fun to work on and just kind of, like, turn my brain off and grind for a couple weeks. But, it's also really basic, and I don't necessarily know if it's appealing enough for a demo reel. I was thinking of, like, adding eyes and stuff and, like, maybe a snakeskin pattern. Bro. Hold on, I have to leave a comment on something. Sorry. Somebody on the neighborhood section of the Ring app was like, anyone notice there hasn't been clear blue skies lately? And it's been raining all day, every day? And I just had to say, did you just move to Florida? I can't. Brother. Did you do no research? Did you just spawn on Earth today? Yeah, it's hurricane season, my guy. Did you hear about what happened in Texas? Anywho. Wild. Like, I know it's July. I know we're pretty much in the middle of summer, but, like, no. Stop. Please. Like there's okay, I say all the time that, like, Florida is bipolar because it'll be sunny, clear blue skies 1 minute and, like, the heaviest downpour you've ever seen a couple minutes later. And it's almost like clockwork in some places. Like Tampa in particular, like 3 or 4 o'clock every day between a certain time frame. Like from I want to say from like May to August, like 3 to 4 p.m. that you better be inside or at least have an umbrella. Because I remember my first experience dealing with rain down here, at least, like, when I was, like, conscious enough to remember. We came down to Florida, my dad and I, we came down here to visit the school that I wanted to go to. So, one of the days that we were here, he wanted to take me to the Kennedy Space Center. So, I ended up, we went on the bus tour, which takes you, like, all around, like, the facility. You see the launch pads and stuff. There was, like, some section where there was, like, a lot of chain link fence, and it's, like, this kind of fence that's at, like, a weird L-shaped angle, and I was like, why does the fence look like that? I could climb over that so easily. And my dad was like, yeah, it's for the gators. Those motherfuckers can climb fences like geckos. It's scary. I think we ended up actually seeing 2 of them, like, in the water, too. That was crazy. But by the time we were done with, like, the tours and the museum and everything, the last thing that I wanted to do was get a pretzel from the truck that was by the entrance. So my dad goes over, I go with him, of course. We get the pretzel. And then as soon as we step away to start walking back towards the car, mind you, we're only parked like 2 or 3 rows in. And then there's like maybe 20 feet of asphalt until you hit the sidewalk for the actual center. We start walking to the parking lot, and I just see this curtain of silver rushing towards us. I kid you not. Within like 2 minutes of leaving the pretzel stand, it is a full-on downpour. Heaviest rain I have ever experienced in my life. And I've seen a lot of fucking rain around the world, bro. I used to live in England. I used to live in parts of Europe. I've seen rain. I know, and like, bro, like, oh my god. Never like this. At least it wasn't cold. That's the only thing I'm grateful for, was it was warm rain. Oh my god. But it's like that fresh shit from the ocean, because that's where you are. You're on the edge of Florida. It's nothing but the Atlantic for miles. So yeah, by the time we get back to the car, our poor rental car, I was soaking wet. My pretzel was soaking wet. I had grease dripping down my arm from the pretzel. I was like, this was such a terrible idea. We should have just gone back to the car. I wish we had like a towel in the car or something that would, oh my god. Oh, it was so bad. But yeah, now when people talk about the weather to me, I'm just like, bro, is this your first time here? Like, did you just wake up this morning and not know where you are? Oh my gosh. Anywho, that tangent aside. Okay, but yeah, so those are a couple animation candidates for my demo reel. I want to work on a dialogue scene. And oh my god, this drawing just reminded me actually. Let me see if I can find. I just found this recently. I say recently. I just found this before I started the stream. Is it in downloads? It's not in downloads. It's in desktop. Let me see. Aha! I want to show you guys this. This is my first attempt ever at rotoscoping. Okay. I just want you. This might get my stream muted, at least this section. I don't know, but you have to appreciate the glory that is this animation. Like, look at that. Look at that, brother. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's so good. It's rough, of course. It's not fleshed out at all. I initially I made this. When did I make this? Oh my god. When did I make this? Does it say? No. I made this a few years ago. Probably right after I graduated with my bachelor's. And I just saw this random TikTok. I think it's still saved on my account. I could be wrong. But I loved the dance, and I had been wanting to practice rotoscoping for such a long time. So what I plan to do with this one, maybe this will make it into the demo reel, who knows? But what I plan to do is like clean this up and kind of almost like apply my character as a skin almost. Because like if I do Queenie, it would be really cool. I would just have to worry about like her tail, like animating her tail and stuff, and then also the horns. The horns would be another big area of contention. But I could simplify it for myself and just do her human counterpart, since that's kind of who the dancer in my comic is supposed to be anyway. But I totally forgot about this animation, so I can't wait to like start working on it again. But yeah, this drawing just reminded me of that. I love the colors for this, by the way. Like orange and purple, such an underrated color combination. Cause like I like contrasting colors. I like naturally contrasting colors. I mean, you saw the animation just then, like the fucking cyan against the bright ass red. Like I'm here to burn your retinas, okay? Is that understood? But like purple has always been one of my favorite colors. I don't exactly know why, it just is. It's in my head, it's softer than red, but like because it's warmer than blue, I don't know, there's like something sensual about it. And I don't necessarily mean that in a like a sexual way, but like I don't know, right? It's one of those things that tickles my brain. And then the orange, because I think originally the reference photo that I used was like red and black, so I almost wanted to emulate that, but like if you took like one of those like Instagram filters, I can't even remember what it's called, but I used to use it all the time, and it just makes everything black look blue or purple, and I don't know why, I just love that. This is another one where like I might take it later on and like apply an actual character to it, or at least a silhouette of a character of mine, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Well, good balance of like hard versus soft shapes, I think. What next? I don't know if this would be okay to put in a demo reel too. I would have to fix her feet, because like she loses her toes on a couple of frames. But for the most part, I think everything else is fine. I'm really trying to like watch for popping or just anything that doesn't look right. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm mostly doing this stream just to kind of like hold myself accountable, because it's like if I put this on the internet and I do develop a decent following, or I just have like friends that see my stuff and they're like, hey, did you work on this? Hey, when is this project gonna be done? When are you gonna do that thing you said? Or even if it's just strangers on the internet, you know, like it'll give me that little bit of pressure that I need to feel like I have to do this, even if it's like that procrastination energy from school, you know. I also just realized her outfit when she's turned away from us should have a little bit of the purple connecting and covering the hair. I don't know if I forgot to do that or if I misinterpreted my lines. Because clearly the titties don't stick out in the front, at least not until you get to the side. I don't know. But yeah, again, I'm just kind of like tearing apart my work, making vocal notes about the things I need to work on. And genuinely, I just need to go through, I don't know, because like, okay, maybe, I don't know, it's hard to be critical to yourself, objectively. Like I might get rid of the bunnies, my girls, because like these aren't, I don't think this is a bad illustration, but I think I've gotten much better since this is a couple of years old. There's just little inconsistencies that I noticed, like the weird cup thing here I think should be higher. I know I'm trying to make it look like it's foreshortened, but I think the tips should still be relatively on the same plane. Like I would just need to drag it up a little bit higher, that's all. I don't know what's happening to this girl here. She kind of appears and then disappears. Same for this girl's legs. It kind of makes sense for our feet to maybe be covered, like right here, but no, this side's funky. Also that should be like more towards the front here. This part I'm fine with. The expression is weird, but yeah, I might take this. I might take that drawing down. What else? I mean, the Christmas version, same story. I think the clothes are a little bit more accurate. Wait, was she there in the last one? No, we added a friend. Also, I changed quite a bit. Hold on a minute. Sorry, I have to go back and forth like this. Oh, it's the masks. The masks always throw me off. Not bad, not bad. Not the best, but not bad. There's some weird like shading happening on these girls' faces that I don't like. Her mouth is missing shading. It's the little things. It's the little things like this that, like, I know my work is gonna get scrutinized by professionals, so kind of has to be the best I can make it, you know? The shading from this rim is not consistent with this one. I don't know. I like the text. I like the text details that I did. It's kind of cute. Made a candy cane-esque. This is another one. I think I should take this one down again because of anatomy issues. I was apparently very fond of this style of dress top. I don't even know what to call this. Oh, but because I noticed that was on the bunny's drawing quite a bit. There's also like inconsistencies with the shell, her waist, this dress. Okay, I have this drawing as the wallpaper for like my vertical monitor. Just because it's like the only the only thing with the same. I used to have it as my phone lock screen too, but that was a long time ago. But like there's just so many inconsistencies, and like this line that goes up the front, kind of like it's a corset, not on the other side. Not that she has enough waist to even show that, but you know what I mean? I kind of hide it here with like the poofiness of her skirt, but like I can tell there's something not right happening underneath. Even here, like I get it's too snatched. It's too snatched. I want to give my girls like thick thighs that save lives and titties for days, but that means that the waist is then lacking, or if because it can either be too narrow and just look like all of the organs are in the titties, or to me it's too wide and I lose that like hourglass shape that I really like. So trying to find a happy balance between those two in a stylized way has been a struggle for me. I think I've gotten better over the last couple of years though. Like this alone, you even got like a little bit of like back chub, you know what I mean? But she's still got her hips, she's still got her thighs. The titties are not the biggest, but hey, we love a pear-shaped queen. What next? Oh, these were fun. These were also, like, this is from, is it at the bottom? Okay, this is like a digital coloring on top, but this was like a strip of paper that I had when I was still doing my caricature job. And, I would just, like, doodle random things because it wouldn't waste the, like, branded Disney paper that I used for the actual caricatures, and it gave people kind of like a sneak preview of my work as they walked past and stuff. Because I had a bunch of these fucking cards all over the place. I would use my clips that would normally hold my paper in place. I used them to hold up my strips of doodles. And I will say, I love all of this except her face, the feather texture, and her face. I love the fairy. I love the body, even though like you can still see some of the sketch lines. I love my dryad. I love my mermaid. I think I ended up changing the color of her shell bra. It's orange here, but I think I updated this eventually. But my harpy is unique. I think it's the eyes. I think it's the eyes more than anything, in the mouth. Like I would redraw those. And again, like find a better way of conveying this like feather texture, because right now her feathers just look like confetti to me. And I don't like it. But I love okay, I especially love these wings. Look at those wings. Her legs are doing some weird things, but it's fine. Also, the body of the horse. Love. I gave her some like spiky horseshoes because she's a warrior. She's gotta traverse across diverse terrain. Oh, I think I wanted to kind of emulate a rowan tree since my name is Rowan. With this one, and I know they have like little clusters of poisonous red berries. I don't know why I went with so many teals in her hair though, but I like it. I do like it. And then the mermaid girl, which I had a lot of fun. I was trying to emulate like a whale shark texture, like that nice like spotted look. I think I did well. Apparently I really like this style of nose. I don't know why. It's not quite a button nose. Maybe that's how I see my nose. I don't know. And then the eyebrows that are arched for days. Another one that I might take down, honestly, is this Mercy drawing. Like, I'm not upset with the drawing of Mercy herself, but I would definitely need to update this background because I feel like it takes away more than it adds anything. For the most part, everything else is fine. The shading in the face could probably use some work too. Don't know. Also, God, I need to work on shading metal. Like, the gold isn't terrible, but when it gets to the silver parts, I don't know if I was intentionally trying to make it look aged, but I think it should be a little bit shinier, kind of like up here. This one I might have to take down just for like legal reasons. Like, the galaxy for the most part is original. I did use a reference, but like the star pattern, like the color vibrancy is unique to me, and then I tone it down for the painting. But this was mostly for my dad, just to have as like a poster in his man cave. But it might be an issue to have on my art station. I don't know, because it's probably copyrighted RP or trademarked. I don't know. Some self-portraits. This is the most recent one. I almost did something where like I was gonna mirror this side on this side, and then I realized my hair is parted more so to one side, so it wouldn't make sense that you would see as much of my face on one side, or see the same amount of my face on one side as opposed to like the other. This is also what I used kind of as reference for my VTube model. Even though she's broken, she can at least turn her head, her face from left to right and up and down. She just can't tilt from side to side. I would be able to demonstrate that if it was working, but alas. And then I've got a couple of background scenes, technically. Very abstract, very painterly. This you could maybe argue would be like concept art-esque. But I probably could have spent a little more time on the buildings. I love the water and the sky. Like, those are definitely the best parts. I'm just not great with like industrial aesthetics or mechanical. Don't ask me to draw a robot, I'll cry. This one I kept on my art station just because I think it's a good sketch. I really do. It's got like monochromatic coloring. Everything for the most part is visually clear. I would say you could argue this section is a little odd looking. I can't remember. I probably have the photo reference still, but I can't remember what is going on here. This I know doesn't visually make sense, but there's a stuffed animal here. I do remember that. I've got my blankets all in disarray. I should probably add more values so you can see the folds better, but same with the tapestry. Otherwise, I think it's a good sketch. And then you got my girl Queenie. That's kind of how I organized my all section, as I wanted similar projects to be next to each other. So like all my 3D stuff is here. All of my 2D animations are here. traditional projects, digital projects, all the way up to here, personal, oops, self-portraits, and then personal. Should I move my self-portraits higher? I feel like those should probably go between like Queenie and this sketch. I don't know. Oh, here's another one that I had fun with. Again, this has been updated since I posted it, so it's like slightly cleaned up, but I don't think it's like different enough that I need to like update the post. Excuse me. But I did have a lot of. This was a social media challenge. Can't remember who posted it, but they were like, "Hey, make a summer drawing with this color palette." So I just did a girl chilling in the pool with her floaty. I don't know. I think I just really wanted to draw curly hair. I was trying to remember if I had any particular reason for giving this girl a fro, but I can't. I think I just wanted to. I think I just wanted to have fun with it. The hand is a little fucked. I might have to fix the hand, because you can see her nail right there, and I think she only has 2 knuckles, so I gotta fix that. What else can I show off? This was a fun painting. This is another one where like I kind of need to work on the lighting, because like the glow on the top of her horns right here makes no sense. Even on the arm a little bit, there should be some shadows here. For the most part, it's pretty good, I'd say. I had this as a wallpaper for a long time as well. I was thinking of like making it big enough for like a mouse pad and just kind of extending this like glitter star pattern across. So maybe in the future. But I did have a lot of fun with this. I think my signature is a little too big. Oh, excuse me. I'm so tired. What else? Oh, this is a concept for like a cover for my comic. I might not necessarily go with it, or I might just like add to it. I almost wanted that that aesthetic from like the original Twilight book covers, like where he's like holding the apple. Because like the biggest proponent of my comic is that it's basically it's based on the Christian creation myth. So Adam and Eve, the apple, which I have a fun little like reinterpretation of that story. I won't give too much away, but there's basically 2 different trees producing 2 different kinds of fruit. But yeah, so this one was probably the most fun, just like working on the snake, like the scale textures and the head and stuff. This is also kind of what inspired the snake animation, because I think originally the snake that I sketched out was going to be like this like dark brown kind of like ball python looking thing. But then I remembered this drawing and I was like, maybe I could make it this snake. So part of the reason it doesn't have eyes right now is because, one, I got fatigued from the way that I was cleaning it up. So I might go back and add the green eyes later. But yeah, I really enjoy this drawing. I think the apple texture looks really nice too. Let me see if I can zoom in. Like, that's almost like a real apple, no? Am I crazy? Maybe the shading on the edges is a little too dark, but I think that's a pretty good apple. Not to toot my own horn. I think I talked about this one last time we went over, because I was showing the card textures. This is what I used in the 3D animation from earlier. Very cutesy. I actually might spend the time eventually designing a full deck of cards with the characters from this series. I need, let's see, I need at least 4 face cards: King, Queen, Jack, and a Joker. So obviously Queenie is the queen. I would probably make Adam the king. Either the king or the Joker. If Adam is the Joker, then I would probably make my god character the king. Or Lilith. Lilith would be another good choice. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's not a bad idea. Because Queenie is the queen. Lilith would either be... No, Lilith would have to be the king. Eve would be the Jack. And then Adam would be the Joker. That's my canon. Oh man, actually that's a fun idea. So, okay, the reason I went with kind of like a Celtic design for the cards originally was because Queenie at this point in time did not have her own series. She was supposed to be part of another series that I wanted to work on that had a huge primary focus on like Irish folklore and like creature mythology and stuff. That's why the Seven of Clubs, is 7 will-o'-the-wisps in the forest. I have 2 ideas for card decks now. But yeah, so I would have to completely redesign the backs. It would be Courtesan instead of Tunanog. But yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to talk about. So there's like 3 areas of focus that I want my portfolio to consist of. I want a character art section, I want a background section, and I want an animation section. I would probably have to have a 4th section just for like general projects. But as far as like, because okay, you see here I have 3D modeling studies, which is all my 3D stuff. I have digital illustrations, which is everything that was drawn digitally. I have my traditional pieces, and then I have my animations. So I'm kind of already on the right track with that, except instead of separating by medium, I'm going to separate by subject matter, because I feel like, at least for an employer's perspective, like if I'm applying for a job as a character artist, like having a character art section would be the most helpful. If I'm applying for a background painter position, having a background section would be helpful. Oh, excuse me. Look. I'm dying. I'm gonna have to end soon because I just keep yawning. But yeah. So those are gonna be my 3 areas of focus. More background scenes, more character art, and more iterations of character art. So what I mean when I say that, you could argue technically that these are character lineups, because I have all these characters standing up next to each other. They're at different heights, different positions, stuff like that. So something like this, but cleaner. So I'm gonna replace this. Character iterations. So where do I even have? Hold on. Digital. Do I not have it up here? Am I stupid? Oh my god, I'm stupid. Anywho. I'll just find it on here real quick. Why does it keep opening over there? I don't appreciate that. art, PNGs, characters.
Queenie. Queenie, Queenie.
So, okay, when I say character iterations, I mean something like this, where you have a character turnaround, you have some expressions, and then you have some character iterations. Now, I, going forward, would do these on separate pieces. So I would have like my character iterations on one piece. I would have like maybe the character turnaround and expressions on one piece together, just for like a character exploration piece. Oh my god, what is going on with the top right here, man? What happened to her titty? What did I do? Why did I do that? Ugh. This one is also weird. Ugh. Okay. This is why it's not on my art station anymore, I see. Also, the consistency across expressions. Like, her face changes like 3-4 different times. None of these are the same character. I think this one is my favorite. Like, oh my gosh. This, iconic. Amazing. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so doing more character iterations with Queenie, and then maybe another character just for diversity's sake. Maybe even an animal, you know. I'll do 2 animals, or I'm sorry, I'll do 2 humanoid characters and an animal. Because I do want my main character to have some kind of pet, like a cat or something. And I've been drawing a lot of cats recently, so I got the practice there. What is going on with the titties in this one? Do you see this? All the separation. What the fuck? Same here. Like, at least this one kind of normal. God damn. Sorry, I heard something move. But yeah. These are my goals. These are my plans. This is what I need to work on. What is that? Why did it have my face on it? Why is that there? Do you see that? Oh. Weird. I love that I called this buyer's remorse. That's funny. I forgot about that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know why it does that. Weird. Okay. Anywho. Oh, I have such a love-hate relationship with ArtStation because, like, one, it's a great place for me to use as a portfolio while I scramble the funds to, like, start making my own website. But also, I hate it because I have been exposed to more scams on this website than any other professional website that I use. And it's really frustrating when you are a still relatively young artist. Sincerely. Get off! That's what I fucking heard! What is wrong with you? No! No! Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Sandy has started climbing on top of the hamster cage. Oh my god, I thought I heard something. You psycho. Okay. That distraction aside. Hi. Hello. We're cuddling down. Oh, now she's biting my finger. Cool. But yeah, so these are my plans. These are my goals. This is what I need to work on. I think that's it for the stream today. This was a fun little experiment. I don't know how the YouTube side is going to work necessarily, but I appreciate anybody that stopped by to just watch even for a couple of minutes. You help me keep doing what I'm doing, and I will see you guys next time. I hope to start streaming more often because I really need to like start being consistent with things, and I feel like if I just incorporate it more regularly into my schedule, that'll kind of help. At least like with formulating a system for myself, you know. Anywho, that's all from me. I hope y'all had a good Monday. Is your paw dirty? Nope, that's just your paw. Okay. Anywho, thank you to anybody that stopped by, and I will see you next time. Bye!